seems to me it's going to be a bit problematic in the days ahead. So far, I'm seeing only the Boko Reef and the Galleon's Passage would be the operational vessels. Could you confirm what's going on with the APT James and the Spirit?
Well, we don't have, excuse me, we don't have clarity on that information yet. Information seems to be quite a secret nowadays in Tobago and elsewhere. And so we're still trying to find out clearly what is happening. It is unfortunate that at this time, this is what we have. And it just sends another message that central government being in control of everything does not favor the people who it ultimately impacts. They sit up high, they make decisions, and the people on the ground have to deal with those decisions and not be involved all the way in terms of how those decisions are made and how do we position ourselves to ensure that we mitigate against the challenges that would result from some of those decisions.
So I know the Cargo Star, there's another concern there, that's the cargo ship. I know that's going to be out of compliance, and I've heard from the Line Minister, or at least from Julian John and others, that there's going to be a new vessel on board. Walk me through that. Any clarity in that regard?
No, but you ask yourself, do you take out the vessel before you get the new vessel? Or do you bring the timelines closer together so there is a seamlessness between one vessel leaving and the other one arriving?
Because the Cargo Star, I know, because I know the Cargo Star is a very integral, you know, that's more or less is what, from what I understand, takes lots of the different supplies and produce to Tobago. So that's going to be out of commission. When exactly? Do you have a date?
No, we don't. It's challenging to get clear information. You hear one side says this, one side says that. It's challenging to get clear information on it. But what we do know is that there will be a period where there's nothing. And so we are asking, why can't we align this a little better where while one leaves, the other one is coming in at about the same time, so there is a seamless transition and not the gap where the people of Tobago have to suffer for a little bit before they get another gift. Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, we have come a long way. I remember the days of what I would call the MV Tetanus, which was the Panorama back in the 80s. I mean, that was I used to call that the MV Tetanus. It was rusty, it was dusty, it was real shambles in the water, and we've got rid of that, and we have these new up-to-the-minute vessels. But the Panorama, I mean, I know it's in Greece, it's up to the time. They've actually renovated and made it, you know, into this world-class looking vessel now. But what do you think causes, what's the cause, the root cause really of such, all these breakdowns? Is it a maintenance issue? Is it that these vessels are overused? What's your understanding?
It's a scheduling issue. The governments never do well at maintenance schedules. And what happens is that it's almost as if it's a surprise every time that the ships have to go off and be maintained, when you need to look at it as, okay, we do know that they need to be maintained. If this one is leaving now, then we need to have this one already in place. Both can go off to be maintained at the same time. We can't change it out without the new ones coming in. It is a scheduling issue. Yeah. And again, those of us who are in Tobago will know it, will feel it. And if we are more involved in the management of that, we may find better scheduling in terms of what goes off, what stays, and the arrangement during that time. So, you know, government needs to start letting loose their hands on everything and letting the people become more involved in the management of things that really affect them.
Indeed. Thanks so much for the candor. You know, consultation seems to be the clarion call in the last
Well, not
couple of
just
months?
consultation, because they would tell you they consulted, but consultation and actually listening to the people and having them actively involved, because in consultations you are going to have some emergent decisions that need to be made after you've consulted. So how do you bring the people more into the conversation consistently, rather than just saying, oh, I consulted them, but then you went off and did, whatever you wanted to do?
Let me ask you, as we switch gears to the political landscape, I must ask you directly, are we living in a lawless dump, Dr. Soifat Angus?
Well, if you start from the head, the head come down, we could say yes, because we have had a cabinet that has disrespected the Constitution, I would think, and that is being lawless, because we are embroiled in a conflict between Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago, and it has never been brought formally to our parliament. Our parliaments around, Grenada and even Venezuela brought the issue to their parliament and got consensus, and our parliament has been totally taken out of the communication where this being involved in this conflict is concerned. Not even a statement, officially went in. There's disrespect for the Tobago people, where the installation of the radar was put, and the flights landed, and in the way it was done. So that is lawless, the disrespect there. You then have supporting the violence that we have around us without evidence or due process or accountability. That's lawlessness. And killing people at sea and calling it a security policy is lawlessness, and this country has been supporting that. So when you start with lawlessness at that level, I guess we are a lawless dump.
You're looking at it from the governance perspective, because the Prime Minister looked at it really from the citizen perspective.
It begins from the head. Okay? We are saying in Tobago, fish does rotten from the head. Well, lawlessness begins at the head. So you cannot be demonstrating that level of lawlessness and then all of a sudden have punitive measures and say the country is lawless and a lawless dump. It's very disrespectful, and they need to look in the mirror.
Let me ask you, as we pivot into the THA elections, literally days away, what's the vibration like? What's the frequency? What's the real feedback you're getting from the people? Because some of the political scientists, and they've said this about you and your party, they've said that your heart is in the right place, you have the right intentions, but they don't know if you have the political capital to go all the way. What do you say to that kind of argument, and what's the feedback you're getting in real time from the constituents, all those who live in this space in Tobago?
So I would think that the political capital they would be speaking about is the money. Yeah, this is not an election that is going to be based on money. We see a lot of money being floating around. And this election, although the money is floating around now, people are talking and saying, well, the money got done. What's going to happen in 2026? And they're quite correct. Because the money you're getting now is just going to be money now that they're paying for you to try and get your votes. But in 2026, you better be sure that the TPP does not have any solution for the further economic decline that we have coming in 2026. We already see the Trinidad government is crashing. The economy is tanking. And neither the TPP nor the UNC has neither of them have any solutions as to how to get this country out of the precipice that we are dropping into. And this is where the IDA has been making some grounds because we have to change, and people have to accept that both the TPP, UNC, PNM policies are based on the same type of approach, where it is we get shiny new things, we put up new buildings, we do this, But really, they're not really affecting the lives of the people in their pockets. We also have a dragon deal gone, a declining energy sector. Where's the government getting the money other than taxing the people to try and stay alive? And so the idea's vision is about bringing the people into the conversation in a meaningful way, where we are going to spend time once we get into office in 2026.
Oh, we just got a little delay there, Dr. Soifat Angus. We're going to try to sort out
diversifying by.
No, we just had a slight pause there. We just had a slight pause with the connection. So I think you're back on stream. I want to let you elaborate some more on the plan.
We are bringing the community empowerment into it in a real way, not just telling the people that, but actually doing it at at the level of making sure the communities are.
Let me ask you, Dr. Soifat Angus, you mentioned, I want to just rewind for a few, you mentioned that people are being paid, money is passing around. Is this something you have seen firsthand, that people are being given financial incentives to go out and vote? That's what's happening?
Yes, our people to go out to meetings and to, to keep the blocks lively. So we have told our people, listen, the money is yours. All those monies that went to Trinidad in contracts over the last 4 years where you couldn't get jobs, you couldn't get anything in Tobago, it crashed the Tobago economy. That money is now coming back to pay you during the election. So the money is yours. But note that if you take the money and you vote them back, the same cycle will occur. So take the money and vote them out. Vote for the IDA. And so that is what we've been telling our people. And whenever they get the money, they come back and tell us, and we're like, it's yours, take it, But the moment you take it and you vote them, then they have gotten you as a bribe, and that is illegal. So take the money, it's your money, and vote against them.
What's the big ticket issue when you walk around and you do your canvas, and because many would have suggested it could be the radar, some are saying the economy, tourism and the stall that's happening right now. What's the real big ticket issue in Tobago as we speak?
Okay, so it depends on which communities you go to. Okay, so in Crown Point, a big ticket issue is the radar. People are seriously concerned about the radar, about whether they are becoming targets, because we hear that, if they should be targeted, a missile could affect somewhere between Crown Point and up to the Gulf City, up to the mall. So people are concerned in that area about the radar. People are concerned in other areas about unemployment and the type of employment that they're getting. And in other areas, people are concerned that they're not getting monies to support, their business ventures to expand, because they understand that really that is the way they control their future, being in business, a sustainable business, and not just looking to get involved with the THA.
What about autonomy? Is that just an issue for the leaders, or is the average man, let's say Mark from Mason Hall and Beverly from Bethel, are they talking autonomy?
I think the people are being fooled by what is currently the leaders on both sides focus with autonomy. They're looking at autonomy from the fact that they will get more money, of course, more money to dip their hands into, and more legislative powers. But who is going to oversight the legislative powers? Right now, we have a situation where there's question as to how many lands are being sold and given out right now, where that is under the purview of just the chief secretary and his executive, and sometimes just the chief secretary only. And that is something dangerous. Are we going to be able to deal with that in a new Tobago bill? That has no framework to address that within the new Tobago bill. And the idea is saying that, listen, currently, the Tobago bill that we have right now is very strong. Apart from which they wanted to take out the strong parts out of the new incoming bill, but the Tobago bill, as it is, we can work with it to begin multiplying the efforts of Tobagonians to truly govern ourselves and to even get additional monies out of the bill. So we as Tobagonians have to move past the dependency on Trinidad and start refocusing ourselves on how do we make money for ourselves in Tobago. And that is what we are campaigning on. That is what the people are listening to, because it is something new. It is not the same old that will get us the same results, which is a declining economy over the past 4 years. The median income of the average Tobagonian has dropped significantly, and their buying power is next to nothing. And now with these austerity measures, we have to call it austerity measures, that have been brought in by the national government, it is going to get us even further in a hole. I know that there are some daily paid workers and some workers who in January, very soon in January, they will be hit hard because their negotiations have not been completed yet. And so based on their salaries, they will get the additional NIS deductions being extracted. So again, a shrinking take-home salary for persons to eat on, and they're already struggling. Well, so there are a lot of moving parts in there that will affect people very significantly in 2026. If you thought 2025 was hard, 2026 will be much worse, and we need a Tobago government that will understand and will be able to bolster wherever the economy in Tobago needs right now, and to be able to turn it around by putting power into the hands of the communities, giving them the resources, because like the boats, they will know when to schedule, what to do, that really affects their economy, because every community has its uniqueness, and one size no longer fits all.
Well, Dr. Soifat Angus, I want to thank you for the clarity there. All the best going into not only the new year, but the THA elections. And I'm sure we might get a chance to touch base before the 12th. Until then, be safe. All the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Soifat Angus, political leader of the IDA, gearing up for THA elections come January 12th. We come back and treat with the fireworks, treat with the animals, and treat with those who are concerned as to what will take place in the next 48 hours. Fireworks impact on the animals. That conversation next with the presidents of Animals Alive.
My favorite time of the year is Christmas. For me, there is no other time like Christmas. New Year's and
to the occasion.
you can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Brand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Brand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. Make it good, live the way you know you should. With Brand Credit Union, yes you could. Make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Discover Regal Granola. Crunchy, flavorful, bursting with berries, seeds, Regal almonds, walnuts, pecans. High in fiber with real orange juice. Get Regal Granola, the perfect snack for your lunchbox.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Y'all finna learn y'allself something now. Johnny.
Yo.
Come on, boy. Sexy fabric that makes a good stripper name.
Well, she might be from the hood, Steve, so
come on, boy.
I'm gonna say polyester, bro.
Polyester. This stripper's name Polyester. You don't Polyester.
Family Feud. Two families battle it out for bragging rights. Family Feud. Weekdays at 5:30 p.m. only on CNC3.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Bourse Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Bourse Report. CNC3, covering your world.
Tune in to Betterments with host Base, Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. for a program that educates and is solution-based. Base tackles the issues that matter to you, providing a platform to speak your mind and find solutions. That's Betterments with Base, with a focus on education and resolution. This is all about making things better for you. So if you want to make a difference and have your voice heard, tune into Freedom 106.5 FM and join us for Betterments with Base, Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Better for you. Only on Freedom 106.5 FM, where we believe that your voice matters.
Uttaran. More drama, more emotion. Uttaran. Weekdays at 6 p.m. on CNC3.
Not drinking all night till Christmas morning. Belly full.
Let me welcome Catherine Cleghorn. She is the president of Animals Alive. She joins me on the Zoom line. Season's greetings to you, Catherine. Great to see you, and all the best for 2026.
Thank you, Jason, and same to you.
That's right. I know yourself and, well, more so the animals. If you could speak to them, I'm sure they will express some nerves getting into the next 48 hours because we know what's going to transpire come Wednesday night. And I'm seeing it's quite clear with the public advisory that the time, there's a particular timing, 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. So that's an hour, Old Year's into New Year's. And they're saying that this fireworks discharge can take place within, cannot cannot take place within a half-mile radius of a public hospital, private hospital, airport, a zoo, or a registered animal shelter, a farm where animals are reared, a forest reserve, or a national park. So it's clear, the law is passed. We saw collaboration between the opposition and the government and opposition. But the reality is, through your lens, you think there's going to be detection? Do the TTPS and others have the capacity and the will to really go out and hold people accountable if they run afoul of what's declared here in black and white via the public advisory?
Jason, I don't think so. We can live in hope, but why would we pin a law on hope? We need to have laws that make sense and that are practical and easy to administer. So we took the opportunity to go to the South Oropouche police station, and we took a legal letter with us to present it to the sergeant there or to the persons who run the station there to ask them to protect the shelter during ODS night. We explained the law and we stated our expectations of protection. And the letter was received, and we are hoping that they would come out and they would protect the shelter, because we've been there for 15 years. And it's been 15 years of shared tyranny and terror. These animals are out of their mind on that night. And for the nights of Diwali and the nights leading up to Diwali, it's been horrendous. We've had deaths, we've had disabilities, we've had all kinds of medical situations that have been difficult to treat and difficult to pay for. Why are we doing this to the poor animals? Is it really fair to them? Do we want a society like this just for the enjoyment of a few people? We need to do better. We must do better.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the discussion for so many years, and I can't even say, public awareness campaigns are needed, because we have had the discussion. I just wonder, it just really boils down to discretion and people using their common sense and doing what's right, because, again, it's stated here in law as to where you can't release the fireworks, and we are given a time frame. And we know 11:30 to 12:30, we have seen fireworks going up way before 11:30, and sometimes all after 1. The full works. What's your advice in that regard to those who might, want to run afoul?
At this point, we have to be lawful. We can't expect that our society will fall apart because those who want to break the law can be the ones who get away with a crime. If we are to build a society, a civil one, we have to work within the law and we have to act lawful. But we know there are those who just want to be lawless, or we know there are those who just want to be, just bad. You have to build more compassion in our society. Our society is way too violent. Crime is way out of line. And we need to stop and think that we don't live only for ourselves. We live for those who occupy our spaces and our country, and we need to be better.
What's your advice for animal owners who will have to treat and face this head on in the next 48 hours? And if they have an animal there that's really, you could see that they're irritated, there's an episode happening. What's your advice? What can someone do to help relieve, give the animal some kind of ease?
Seek your vet's advice at this point so that the vet can prescribe the calming pills, and stay with your pets, put on the music, try to drown out the outside sounds. And also, you must calm them by staying with them, being in the same room with them. Don't lock them up and then disappear to enjoy yourself, because they are not going to have any kind of peace at all for the night. Stay with your animals.
And this goes for dogs, cats, birds. We're talking all animals really are impacted.
And even horses, and we have at the shelter as well. We have a whole night of patrol. That's an extremely expensive cost for a shelter like ours, but we have no choice. We are on from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because it's been the thing at the shelter that they will discharge this fireworks from late in the evening to early the next morning. Hopefully this law that locks them down to 1 hour should make it more bearable, but we do know the police is not able to detect and detain persons who are running foul of the law. So we are still being prepared for an entire night of vigil and patrol.
Any closing remarks as we wrap things up this morning, Catherine? I'll give you the final say.
We are living in a world where we share our lives with decent people, we share our lives with animals, we share our lives with an environment. It's not going to be here till infinity. We need to protect what we have. We need to behave responsibly at all times. And so let us try to control ourselves. We don't need fireworks in our lives. What we need is peace, and what we need is compassion. And those things will take us along much further in life.
Catherine Cleghorn, I want to thank you for being here, for your words, and I want to say keep up the great work you're doing yourself and all those that make that contribution for the shelter and the advocacy, and reminding us that it's important to care for our animals and to ensure their safety. They're part of the family. Huh? There are many who, that's the dog or the cat or whatever. It's a part of the family, a part of the fabric. So we have to protect them. And I want to thank you for that reminder this morning.
Thank you. And we would still like to advocate for a total ban.
Yeah. Well, let's continue the conversation next year for sure. Catherine Cleghorn, president of Animals Alive, touching base with us. And coming out of that story, I want to take you across to Roger Marshall. He's from the Animal Safety and Welfare Association. He's the, founder of Action Coalition of TNT, and he's going to bring some more add to the discussion on fireworks and the concerns that he would have. So let's hear from Roger Marshall with this story.
The Fireworks Action Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago is extremely concerned with the lawless behavior we have been seeing from members of the public this Christmas season. Subsequent to passing of the laws to regulate the use of fireworks, the lawlessness has continued and maybe even increased. The wishes of the people have been clearly expressed, that being that the fireworks should be taken out of the hands of the general public. This has been expressed through consultations, parliamentary debates, media reports, many avenues. Yet the government has chosen to pursue a different path and to continue allowing the general public to disperse fireworks, even though in limited times, with somewhat protection. This simply is not going to work. Our society is one that lacks compassion, is lawless, and seems to be dispersing fireworks now in spite of what the government is trying to do. We have two options ahead of us now, and both are aimed at respecting the wishes of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that is, to take fireworks out of the hands of the general public. We can do this in one of two ways. Permit the use of fireworks by trained professionals only under permit, that's dictating the days, times, places, etc. Or two, we can ban fireworks totally. And that, more and more, that seems to be the way to go. The government is trying to balance a situation here that is not going to be to the benefit of the people. A democracy is one about representing the wishes of the people, and this is not what we are saying. So we are pleading with the government to please hear the voice of the people and act decisively on this issue of fireworks. You must protect the general public in the privacy of their homes. We cannot do anything else.
Roger, adding to the discussion this morning, let's get ready for the 7 a.m. news update your calls, and much more after 7.
Sheikleisha Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split peas powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Sheikleisha Limited, 665-3336.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480, or 301-9797, or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services. We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance, but we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Good morning, I'm Akash Samaru with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. Political parties have taken strong objection to the Prime Minister describing Trinidad and Tobago as a lawless dump. Kamla Persad-Bissessy used the phrase to justify a sharp increase in traffic fines and custom duties, arguing that the country had slipped into a state of disorder due to the entitled attitudes of citizens who ignore laws. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles described Kamla Persad-Bissessy's remark as distasteful and unbecoming of a prime minister, arguing that it amounts to a reprehensible insult to the very country Persad-Bissessy calls home. Meanwhile, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley told CNC3 News that this is the signs of a prime minister who does not care what she does and says to the country. The Patriotic Front is also calling on the Prime Minister to address the nation if she truly believes Trinidad and Tobago is a lawless dump. But the Prime Minister is doubling down on her position. She said a country cannot be fixed until you face the reality and call out what is broken and dysfunctional. The president of the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association is appealing to the government to repeal the recent increase in the cost of permits for use on the priority bus route. In addition to this, Brenton Knights is also calling for consultation with Maxi Taxi operators before any further action is taken.
Our operational cost is being affected from many different angles. And yes, that is part of it, but it's not the first option that we're looking at. What we're asking the government is to repeal this first and let us have dialogue.
Knights warned that the adjustment could place added pressure on an already strained public transport sector. The comments come in the wake of a recent announcement that tolls for the PBR would be doubled. Knights further challenged Transport Minister Eli Zakuru's rationale for the increase, claiming that maxi taxis appear to be the only group being affected by the adjustment. And pilots are dismissing social media reports of an impending strike, describing the claims as unfounded and mischievous. The posts accuse several members of the Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association and a People's National Movement official of attempting to disrupt airline operations with a so-called subtle strike action. TALPA, in a joint statement with the Aviation, Communication and Allied Workers Union, confirmed that a meeting was held over the weekend between the executive leadership of both unions. However, they said the meeting was not convened to call strike action or to engage in any activity that could threaten national stability. While no specific agenda items were disclosed, the union said the meeting was intended to provide reassurance and support to their respective memberships amid uncertainty within the aviation sector. Well, those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC radio network.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 Trin or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Watch the passion building and the voices roaring with the mission done. The game is won with the music talking and the big stage calling. The culture comes alive and it's just endless vibes. The future's bright, we'll be more bright. Now it's sweet time, the time to shine. Life is on, it's no time to be timid. So chase those dreams, live without limit. Is on with B-Mobile.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Sumitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
5 minutes after 7 is the second hour, second to last show for us. Well, at least, second to last one for the year. Yeah, tomorrow is all years. And then we prepare for 2026 in 48 hours. My goodness. This year, truth be told, this year was like a sprint. I mean, it started off, we kind of got into the carnival mix. Then, of course, elections. The U.S., well, we had the swearing in of Donald Trump at the start of the year, the California fire. We would have had so much that transpired in this calendar year, 2025. That Gaza war, that was horrendous. The whole world had to bear witness to that. There was so much happening internationally, locally. Could we wrap it up in just 2 hours tomorrow? I highly doubt it, but we'll try to obviously bring forward some of the highlights, especially from the local front. So let's see who's out there. Give you a chance to touch in. Open forum time. Good morning. 624-8721 and 627-8658. What was your highlight and low light for the year 2025? Could be personal, it could be national. Feel free. A highlight and a low light. Shogunas, good morning.
A pleasant good morning, Jason.
Good morning to you.
All right. Jason, what I would like to touch on basically is in connection with what the government is doing, right? To try and, with respect to all these increases in fines and everything like that. Now, here's what. Revenue has to come about as a result of something, right? And I believe that if it's not something very important to say, well, it's a needed item for the general public at large, right? That it's okay to go ahead and do these things. Because let me tell you something, right? To wear a seatbelt, right? If you double the price of it, right? As for where the fine is concerned, who is to say that you're not supposed to be wearing the seatbelt in the first place? So I guess all these things about driving on the shoulder, right, and using the priority bus route without a PBR pass and all these things. I mean, motorists know these things. Even I as a motorist, I know these things also. So the revenue has to come from somewhere, right, in order to be able to facilitate other things going along, right? So, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's a give and take, right? And I mean, not agree with everything the government is doing, but by far and large, they're trying, Jason.
Yeah.
They're trying.
All right, Shogunas. All the best, Shogunas. And let's keep the conversations going into 2026. Faizo, good morning. Long time, Faizo.
Brother Jason, good morning.
Season's greetings, Faizo. It's been a long time.
Compliments of the season. Brother Jason, I have some high and lows. My high is that TNM lose the election. My low is that this government not performing the way I expected them to perform. Jason, you see this CPEP thing? They're mishandling it bad in my opinion. People are being left in the wilderness for too long. We need to address this thing more seriously. Yes?
Yeah.
Now, with the fines that's coming on, I feel it's draconian. It's draconian. That is being unreasonable to the citizenry. Yes, I understand we need to have revenue, Jason, but you cannot take advantage of the citizens. Imagine a little fella down in the country, down by my Uncle Dave. He have a whole fish van, you understand? Give him a 3 months. Tell him, brother, bring this thing up to scratch, else we will have to penalize you. In terms of things like blown bulbs, there should be issued a citation this. And you can't charge a man who drive down the road, he going along in a pothole because of the deplorable conditions of the road. You have loose connections from the time you hit a pothole. My life going up. Boom, 2,000. No. I am saying reduce the fines by about 25%. Give people a holiday period, maybe about 3 months to get their vehicle up to spec because the economic situation in the country is dire. So fellas can't fork out to come out and do this now, I understand. Because we had agents in very high offices from the license office department who facilitated this illegality to an extent, you know, Jason. Yes, they had that. So we need to do that. And I want them to revisit the marijuana legislation. And these fellas with the pants down by the bottom for 2026. I want to get like Grenada and issue tickets when we see them like that. Let me bring back some lawfulness rather than lawlessness to the society, my brother. I wish you all the best for 2026. Okay, and have a nice day.
Same to you, Faizo. Thanks a lot for the contribution throughout all of 2025. Let's head to Sandy Grandy. Good morning, Grandy.
Yes, good morning to you, JW.
Season's greetings. Yes. Welcome.
The Bigo, yes, man. Season's greetings. Now, $1,000 for a seatbelt and so on, that is already stiff, right? So, you can't charge a man $2,000 for not wearing a seatbelt, right? As the caller say that those fines, I find is really draconian, right? And they were complaining about the last administration putting draconian laws upon the citizens, right? But I think the problem is they're looking for ways to raise revenue, because remember they tell the public no tax, ask the tax and so on from the last administration. So now look like we got 619 because look at the kind of taxes they're putting on the citizens now, right? And this country was described by the Prime Minister as a lawless dump. But you can't say that because they have people in her cabinet right now break the law and they say they're stepping down. So the citizens reflecting on those things, right? So when you want to pass laws now to regulate fireworks, there will be problems because citizens viewing the cabinet, right? Men saying, "Me ain't moving," understand? So they ain't moving like that. They would still do what they had to do.
Yeah, I guess leadership by example is what you're calling for. Thank you so much, caller. Yeah, I mean, listen, yesterday I would have given my 2 cents on it. I took real offense to that particular description of the Twin Island state. Every time I leave the country, and I'm lucky enough, I said that yesterday, to get a window seat and I look at the greenery, or whether I'm coming back and you hit the West Coast, you see Shagaramas, or you get to see the lights, the Indigo Martin and the Valley. I'm not looking at a dump. This is my Twin Island state, Trinidad and Tobago, and a country with limitless potential. Is just really the governance, and not only just this administration. We're talking here from the very, very start, from day one, come right up to now. we've had a kind of deficiency when it comes to the leadership, to be quite honest. Let's continue with the calls. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Season's greetings.
Okay, good morning. Same to you. Thanks for the wonderful job you have been doing. This is a beautiful country. I don't have any lows because as long as I wake up every morning, it's a beautiful day in sweet TNT.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up this dump for anything. I'm just the best for the country.
Yeah.
We are under an orange level now because when you put red and yellow together, you get orange. But things would get better. Things will get better, and it is up to us. And Trinidad and Tobago, you are in a beautiful dump. Enjoy it. Help each other. Help your neighbors, especially the children and the elderly. Let us do things for the elderly, especially if you have an elderly neighbor that you see in need. Do things for them. Go, as long as you have a good relationship, wash the dishes, wash the clothes. So many things we can do to for each other. The only problem is the rise in the customs duty. Will put a bigger problem with regard to foodstuffs and things like that. And people, get ready to catch rail hell. That is all. We in the dump, but we will make it. And have a wonderful year to you, sir. You're doing a great job, and we love you.
Love you too.
Bye, TNT.
All the best. Love you too, and thank you so much. I love how she was able to flip it. And people would do that, when you throw them a curveball, they take it right back because she's describing in a sarcastic way, how beautiful dump. I mean, how could the PM say? I mean, oh my goodness. Lawlessness, yes, we have to work on that. I've said it yesterday. Discipline, we have to work on that. Tolerance, we have plenty of production. We have been producing for years, but the discipline, and by extension, the way we treat with our laws. But my goodness. Because we know lawless, when we go away, any training goes away. When you go into any other country there where the laws are very strict, we fall in line, We're not a lawless people, we fall in line. But here, I guess we just relax, we at home. Sometimes you do what you want, but dump, nah, man, I'm not accepting that. Let's take one more from Trin City. Trin City, you're live. Good morning.
Yeah, JW, yeah.
Welcome.
I am concerned about a statement the Prime Minister made yesterday concerning the payment for the upkeep of the priority bus route, right? Just paraphrasing the statement, she said, if you are living in the Southland and you don't use the bus route, then you have no responsibility for maintaining the upkeep of that bus route, right? Now let's extrapolate that statement one step further, right? We could also say that if since the natural resources, the energy resources of Trinidad and Tobago lies primarily in the Southland, right? Central and South. Then she can always say, well, the people in the East-West corridor, they have no right to share in the natural resources of Trinidad and Tobago. They have no right to share in the benefits that these natural resources bring people to Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm concerned about that because these kind of wise statements, giving people the impression that this Prime Minister wants to take this country along a path of secession. Those are crazy statements to make. You don't make these statements in public. Putting one part of the country against the other and saying because you live in the East-West corridor, then you have to fix the priority bus route. And because you live in the South and you don't use the priority bus route, you have no responsibility whatsoever to maintain the priority bus route. That is madness. Jason, I remember, a saying, it goes like this, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I am very, very concerned the way this Prime Minister is speaking and the way this country is being led and the direction this country is being taken to, right? I born here, right? I grew up here. I have no foreign passport. I have no dual citizenship. As Denise Thomas said, now leave him, right? But I am concerned, seriously concerned as a patriot, right? I want to wish Trinidad and Tobago a bright and prosperous 2026, but pushing optimism to the limit, for one to say so. But as we say, let's hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, Trin City. Thanks for the call. And let me add to Trin City's, statement where, for the life of me, I'm still baffled as to this day, certain areas, especially in the Southland, that play such an integral role when we consider our energy product, that natural resource that we talk about, and the lifeline of the country for all these years. The roads and the general upkeep and the condition of the place is in a shambles. And I speak here of Mayaro and Rio Claro and that whole stretch going into Princestown. For the life of me, lots of those big trucks and all those major heavy equipment, they take that particular road. And I guess because of the kind of pressure, the moving land, these are areas that, again, I can't even blame this administration. We have seen it time and time again. Government come, government go. Certain areas, especially in the Southland, I mean, look at Barrackpore and these places, unacceptable. And these are areas not only part of the belt, but lots of the human resource, the human capital come from these areas. So, you know, I mean, there is so much to be done. And we know what we have to do, you know, but again, the political will and really the foresight and somebody to really take the reins. I mean, I try to do my part here with the Get Something and Pave segment and other issues we'll highlight, not only on the Morning Brew, but as a whole when we consider Guardian Media, and we will put the information out and, you know, 9 out of 10 times we see action. But it doesn't have to be that way all the time. Right, let's just do it. That's what you're there for, and do the job, and let's get it done, and let's have a better Trinidad and Tobago into 2026. We come back, much more around the corner. Our digipreneur is here. Karen Rose, still in the country, and we give thanks. So we're going to enjoy him while he's here with us. Tips for a successful 2026 up next.
Yeah, man.
Are you battling diabetes, infertility, heart disease, or vision loss? Oxidative stress may be the hidden culprit, damaging cells and disrupting vital functions. The answer, antioxidants. Introducing N-Toxyl Fort, the super multi-antioxidant formula. With powerful ingredients like glutathione to detox and boost immunity, superoxide dismutase to neutralize free radicals, lutein and zeaxanthin to protect vision, and carotenoids to fight inflammation. Choose N-Toxyl Fort for powerful antioxidant support. Available now at pharmacies nationwide.
At Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chagonas, we are committed to providing quality products for all major building projects. Let's build together with rebars and beams, BRC coils and mats, RHS and angles, roofing sheets and purlins, lumber, plywood and MDF. Bagwansing's, building homes, building communities, building TNT for over 60 years. Bagwansing's, Port of Spain and Chagonas, building value every day.
PCU Christmas is amazing. With $50,000 in loans, you're getting low interest rates. PCU plus discount is great. Everything here to full your plate. Oh yes, PCU Christmas, a PCU Christmas. Secure your family with a PCU Christmas.
Christmas your way with Police Credit Union. Visit our location or apply online at policecreditunion.com. All normal lending criteria applies. Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
Our connection is reliable, credible, and authentic. Thank you for trusting me to bring you the news. It's a privilege to be in your homes and hearts. With every story and every newscast, CNC3 is keeping you informed and inspired. When it comes to news, we are where you are.
Make me feel so happy.
So while he's here, we're going to get a chance to enjoy him, of course, live on set. Then very soon he's heading back to the east. Well, I wouldn't say far east, but I can't say Middle East. So we call that way Karen, but that's just what that is.
That is the Far East to me.
Yeah, I guess Far East. Yeah, Far East. You know, Asia, doing your thing. And Karen, I mean, give thanks you're here with us to enjoy another great conversation. Final one for 2025, and what a year it was. We've had some great conversation, a massive learning curve. You've given us tremendous tips. People keep on calling me to get in touch with you. You know, you've changed lives, Karen. Trust me. You know, your words and the example too, bro. You know, you've taken such a bold step to go out there, and you're sharing with us that there is a bigger world beyond what we just see in the West and with. Don't get me wrong, America and Canada and these places, England, they have set a template. a blueprint for success, but there is so much happening on the next side of the world, and lots of lessons we could take from the East and apply it to the West. Welcome, Karen.
No, thank you. And I mean, if it's one thing that this trip back has showed me is every single day I've been stopped from the young all the way to the old. And it's just amazing the lessons that people have taken away and that they can reflect back to me in conversations. You know, I have people that are in their 80s that have reached out to me and they're like, listen, you know, I'm in my advanced stages and I'm ready to be a digital nomad. And I'm like, what?
Well, that's the best time to do it, right? You know? Yeah, wow. Digital nomad at 80, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Karen, man, give thanks, man. We're looking forward to 2026. I mean, how you feel about it? Obviously, just less than 48 hours away.
Yeah, so I think we are at an extremely critical time in our history. And there are some things that we need to do going into 2026 if we are to have a successful year. And it's going to start with, and I want to give a couple of things that I think need to happen. And I think the biggest one for me, especially over the past couple of weeks, just seeing a lot of the conversations from the different political parties and different political leaders, I think what we need to do as a people is we need to start exposing ourselves to different leadership, right? I challenge everybody to go on platforms like TikTok or Instagram, and I want you to go and follow the Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Lawrence Wong. I want you to go and follow the former Prime Minister of Estonia. Those are two countries we constantly compare ourselves to because of size, population, independence, and all that good stuff. Look at Ms. Kaja Kallas, she's the former PM of Estonia, and also Lawrence Wong. Look at how they address the public. Look at how they can distill international affairs. Look at how they can paint a vision forward for their citizens, so that way they can understand the geopolitics that are happening, but also understand what their role is in building the country and how they can collectively move forward. And I'm pointing out those two particular countries is because they are some of the best performing countries in the entire world and the similar size as Trinidad and Tobago. But then when you also visit these countries, you can actually see the progress and you can see what we could become with the right leadership in place. But we cannot ask for better leadership if we don't know what better leadership looks like. And as long as the U.S. has been the benchmark of leadership, quote unquote, we see what that leads us to believe and what we are willing to accept. So we need to, as a people, expand our viewpoint on what good leadership looks like.
And I guess that speaks to the wider talking point of messaging and how we, within our own existence and how we treat with business or people around us, how we also put out our message.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, when you see, you know, from the top, how they address the people, the vision they paint, that changes your entire dynamic, how you feel about yourself, how you look at your own country. And we need that. We need that. We're not going to progress if, and I'm not even singling out one political party. I don't think any political party has painted a version of Trinidad and Tobago that we can collectively get behind. And we know that because when you look at the numbers from the United Nations and also the IMF and the IDB, they have all painted a picture that the Caribbean, we have a whole lot of out-migration that happens. And when people leave, we have Trinidad and Tobago was cited from the IDB that we have some of the lowest remittances coming back in. So typically when people leave Trinidad and Tobago, they don't even look back. They don't send anything back. They don't remit back into the country. This is all impacting everything about how we move forward. So again, I think we need to expose ourselves to different leadership. Go follow Lawrence Wong, Prime Minister of Singapore, and the former Prime Minister of Estonia.
Outside the leadership and messaging, what are some other tips for success in 2026?
I think the next biggest thing is we need to reframe the entire idea of work, right? The government cannot hire everybody. Typically in progressive societies, the government's role is just to create the enabling environment for people to create businesses or to create value for themselves. If we are consistently waiting for the government to just hand out jobs, and we keep hearing these numbers over the years, 50,000 jobs being created. Tobago, elections coming up, 5,000 or 7,000 jobs. I don't know a country where the government is the one that is saying that we are going to create all these jobs. A government's job is to create the environment for people to create jobs for themselves. And the beautiful thing is, now you don't have to go and create this big Fortune 500 business. You have people that are solopreneurs. I'm a solopreneur. You have people that individually can learn skills and start to create value for themselves and solve problems and create revenue, which leads me to my third point. Third thing we need to do is everything that we create moving forward in 2026, you need to ask yourself just one question. Does what I'm doing generate foreign exchange? If you are creating a business or doing anything where everything is buy and sell or it's not generating foreign exchange, then you are adding to the problem. And we need a lot more people right now who are net earners of foreign exchange. So you have to run anything that you decide to do through that question. Does this net me foreign exchange? And again, this is the best time where people can actually do that for themselves.
We live in a world where instant gratification is the order of the day, and many of a lot of these suggestions in terms of upskilling and learning a particular skill set and going out there, it will take a little time for you to get your momentum and finally see the returns. I mean, what does one do in between that particular time while you're building yourself, especially those folks who looking for it now, they want it instantly?
We live in a very different time where it's make or break right now, right? The best thing you can do is, if you are somebody who currently has a job, hold on to that, but you need to be actively reinvesting into your own upskilling while you still have that job, because as we've seen, there's been a lot of layoffs that have happened over the past couple of years. That's not going to stop. A lot of the jobs that we have in Trinidad and Tobago are outdated. We need, and this is what I was saying like a couple of weeks ago, we had a national revitalization plan, which is a facelift of buildings. But until you can do a national assessment of what skill sets do we need, that is ultimately going to be what determines how the economy moves forward. Take a look at Vietnam. And again, this is why I encourage people, if you have the opportunity to go in, not just vacation in some of these places, go outside and try to live in some of these countries for a year and see how things are happening. Vietnam just rolled out a new visa program where they've outlined 100 skill sets that they are lacking in their economy, and they are providing visas. It's called a talent visa. 100 skill sets. If you have the skill set, go and apply for the talent visa. We need you in Vietnam. These are things that we need to start looking at as a country if we are trying to progress. And guess what? Vietnam just a couple of weeks ago announced a milestone achievement. For the first time in their history, they have recorded their 20 millionth tourist visitor in the country. These countries are doing things differently, and they're doing it well, and they are seeing the returns. We need to start looking at these countries rather than patterning ourselves after what we have always done, because clearly it hasn't worked, and maybe it worked for a time, but it's probably not the best way moving forward right now for us.
This is the same Vietnam that was involved in that Vietnam War in the 70s, where you were just seeing rice fields and they was bombing up this place, and
Jason,
they've transformed?
This is the same Vietnam where anytime you say, hey, I'm going to Vietnam, they're like, Vietnam? Isn't Vietnam in a war?
Yeah, because
you're like, what?
What you know, Vietnam is back in the 70s with the war, and you know, I guess how Hollywood would have depicted Vietnam.
Exactly.
But
this is the same Vietnam.
But it's a totally different place.
Vietnam is right now, for the 4th year in a row, the most affordable country in the world, and one of the fastest rising economies in the entire world right now. That's the exact same Vietnam.
So, you know, the potential is there for greatness right here. I guess we just need to zone in, focus, and I guess it starts with us. You know, they always say be the change you want to see. So really and truly, this advice here is really on a personal level, but if the powers that be are listening, they too could take some tips from what is being mentioned. And
I will always say, you don't need to wait for the powers that be, because that's collectively what we do as a people. We continuously are waiting for the government to come and save us. But there are things that we can start doing on our own, which leads me to my fourth tip. We have a lot of teachers that are graduating every single year, and the biggest complaint for as long as I've been in Trinidad has been people graduate as a teacher and they cannot get placed into the schooling system. If you were to go and take note of this, if you want to go and apply for your TEFL, TEFL, your TEFL certification or look into the JET program, and UE offers the JET program, this is for Japan. You have teachers, because there has been so much migration over the past 2 years to different countries around the world, one of the highest sought after professions is teachers in some of these countries because they need English speaking teachers, not just to teach English as a second language, but look, my visa for Thailand just came out a year ago, right? There's been over 35,000 applications for my visa alone in Thailand. All of these visas offer the ability to bring your spouse and your dependents with you. And what do they need? They need schools. So you have Thailand, you have Vietnam, you have these countries that are attracting teachers from all over the world to resettle over there and teach. And the thing is with teachers, you don't have to migrate permanently. You can go, if you are struggling right now to get into the field right here in Trinidad, go and look in some of these other countries because you can go live out there for a year, 2 years. You can earn foreign exchange because you're getting paid in US dollars, but most importantly, you're getting perspective, you're getting experience. So that way, when you decide you want to come back to Trinidad, you're not coming back here broke, but you're also coming back in here with the upskill. You're coming back in here with a perspective and experience where you can now truly impact the local market.
And something that's, priceless knowledge, great knowledge. That's you always expand your mind when you travel. I'll give you a chance to put your 2026 greetings to the nations, Karen Rose, as we prepare in a couple of days, in some hours literally, for a new year. Give your message.
Yeah, so my message simply for 2026 is the biggest gamble and the biggest risk going into 2026 is doing nothing. If you think that things are going to go back to how things were pre-COVID, it's not going to happen. If you think things are going to go back to how things were prior to 2025, it's not going to happen. The world has changed permanently. And we now need to figure out what is our place in the world as a small island developing state. Do not wait for the government. Do not wait for anybody to tell you what to do. You have every tool available to you to upskill yourself and put yourself in a better position. You can earn your own foreign exchange if you want to. Like I said, if you are a teacher, you're not limited to just here. Look at all of these countries that are offering all these migration routes. Go and upskill, generate some money, bring back that perspective when you can. If you decide you want to stay the same and bury your head in the sand, 2026 is going to be a very difficult year, but it doesn't have to be.
Karen Rose, manners and respect. Yes, Karen touching base, man. We're going to enjoy him while he's here, and very soon he's back out there to Thailand, doing his thing. And of course, with the technology, we will keep in touch every single week going into 2026 and beyond. With that being said, Dr. LeBlanc, our final installment for the year, and we're going to treat with screening and the importance to start the new year with your routine screening. Dr. LeBlanc, she joins me next.
Kaleidoscope colors, fa la 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 la. Fill your home with joy and wonder, fa la 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 la.
Bring joy to your world this Christmas with Kaleidoscope Paints.
Fires are unpredictable and can escalate rapidly.
Making the wrong decision can cost you all your possessions and even your life.
In the event of a fire, you can either fight or flight.
Small fires should be extinguished using an extinguisher by trained personnel only.
However, if a fire reaches the ceiling, do not attempt to fight the fire. You should evacuate immediately using the following steps.
Raise an alarm.
Call the fire service at 990.
Evacuate. Move briskly. Do not run, as this can create panic.
Never go in search of possessions.
Assemble at the muster point. Conduct a roll call to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Give the results of the roll call and other relevant information to the fire service personnel on arrival.
Remember, fire safety begins with you.
Get the story first.
Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Lesson, you ready? Let me go! It's painting time!
Always a joy and treasure to have Dr. LeBlanc with us. She is so busy, a woman whose time is of the essence, and the fact that she makes the time for us every single Tuesday. Whether it's in person or this time around on the Zoom line, I want to thank you for that, for your contribution for the calendar year 2025. Thanks for the great advice, for being here, for the support, for the laughs, yes, the great memories. And I want to wish you, the family, you know, your husband, your kids, all those people you treat with throughout the entire year, nothing but best wishes going into 2026 and beyond. Dr. LeBlanc, great to see you.
Good morning, Jason. It's so good to see you. I'm so sorry I couldn't come in today.
Yeah, no.
I'm real missing you. Next year.
Yeah, next year. We'll make up for it next year in a couple of days. Dr. LeBlanc, you know, I would have done my screening with you. I think it would have been earlier this year. I think, yes. Was it this year or last year, Dr. LeBlanc? Yeah. It was this year, right? Yeah. So, you know, I do my checkups and stuff with you. Walk me through it. How important is it? Is it something that I need to continue every year, once a year, twice a year, at the start of the year? I can't remember myself, but I know I would have done my blood work and everything with you sometime this year. So let's treat with that. The importance of your screening and just your general checkup to kick off a new year.
Yeah, JW. So, well, you know, I'm a bit sorry that you're not remembering that you're supposed to come every year for yours.
Well, I mean, that's why I trust on you to remind me. You know, you keep a little note because, I mean, you know, my mind, you know.
I'm obviously not doing a good job.
You have to let me know when. You have to let me know when, and I'll fall in. You know, I'm obedient. You know, I listen to you. I don't ask any questions.
But you're right. We the physicians should be your guides. And so this is one of the reasons and the ways we can do this. So, you know, when it comes to cancer screening, a lot of people get, you know, you see a celebrity or you see a family friend affected by cancer, and then you go, oh my God, should I get screened? Do I screen now? And then you forget about it as life takes over. And we want you to understand that this should be a part of your lifestyle. So, and there are cancers we can screen for. And this is why it's important to understand, for example, for men, understanding they can screen for prostate cancer every year, annually. That's what's recommended. You screen for colorectal cancer. You can either do the FIT every year, and then if the FIT ever turns out positive, then you do the colonoscopy. And then the colonoscopy, the gastroenterologist will determine how often your screening should occur. But it's so important. And for women, the breast cancer screening, colorectal cancer screening, and cervical cancer screening through the pap smear. And it's important as well, JW, that for smokers and especially secondhand smokers, lung cancer screening can be done with low-dose CT, which unfortunately we don't offer as yet to the Cancer Society, but it should be considered as well if you are exposed to a lot of smoke or you are a smoker. But screening, JW, is us looking for trouble. We're looking for a disease in a so-called normal population. And why are we doing that? Why, for once in our life, why is it good to look for trouble? Is because we get early detection. And with early detection, we can almost improve your survivorship tenfold, and you have much better outcomes when it comes to your treatment regimes and how you and your walk and your journey with the disease should you be diagnosed with cancer.
What's the cost factor? Because, you know, sometimes that could be a stumbling block for many, especially going into a time of uncertainty. The economic climate is one that's a bit dull right now, and people are a bit
dull and hazy.
Right? Yes. the forecast, yeah, the storms ahead. So, you know, many are looking at their pocket, and they're looking at their spend. What's it like? Give me a ballpark as to bare minimum floor price as opposed to ceiling, where you can probably go do a screening and where you can go and get that bang for your buck.
So first and foremost, it's important to understand that you can get screening done in the public sector, public health, and that is free of cost. So you do have to speak, if you're a member of a clinic or you have a health center nearby, you can speak to the physicians in the health center and get your screening done. At the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, we do offer the heavily subsidized prices for screening for these cancers because we do receive as well a subvention from the government, which allows us to give a highly subsidized price. And therefore, JW, we allow access to a lot more of these services at a very low cost. So for example, your pap smear is $200. Your prostate cancer screening can be $300 if you do DRE and PSA. Your mammogram is $300. Your breast ultrasound is $350. So, you know, you can get all of these services, and please note that also we accept insurance at the Cancer Society. We sign your insurance forms, but also look at your insurance plans because they have a preventative benefit, and that covers some of your preventative screening for cancer for both men and women. But it's also important, JW, to understand that when I tell you the cost of prostate cancer screening is $300 with a DRE and a PSA, the importance of that, and let that settle in to if you're diagnosed too late with prostate cancer, the cost of treatment for that late diagnosis versus the cost of treatment for an early diagnosis. So if we really look at it, our lives can really be saved, our pockets can be saved as well with screening, which allows for earlier detection.
Yeah, and I guess as you always say, it's important to listen to your body and just be in tune.
Oh, that you remember.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, as you get older, you feel, I mean, I'm getting little aches and pains. I'm feeling it in my knee, my back, lower back, you know, obviously. I'm not moving as much as I should. So I think that's one of my plans for next year, to continue with my walking and go back into my little jogs and get back into my football. But for those folks who feeling a little feeling the age coming on, how does one differentiate between sometimes just the age pain as opposed to something that could be more severe?
But that's the thing, JW. First of all, you should get an annual checkup with your doctor, no matter your age, because that allows you and the doctor, your family physician, to gauge the changes as you age, or as I say, you get chronologically challenged, because I'm getting up there in age as well. But JW, as you rightly say, do your annual checks, but listen to your body. So it's very difficult for a doctor to just tell you this ache and pain is not something to worry about and this ache and pain is something to worry about. But if you are checked and you understand how your body is feeling and why it's feeling in a certain way at a certain time. For example, women, when we are getting up in age and we have perimenopause, we need to understand the changes of the hormones and how it may affect our bodies, listening to our bodies to be able to tell our physicians, last year I wasn't feeling this, now I'm feeling this now at this stage, what do you think? Then the physician can guide you much better. What do we need to do? Do we need to do screening? Is there a need for a diagnostic workup? What has to be done? But it's so important that patients and individuals out there that are listening this morning and spread the word. You are the protagonist of your health. You are the leader of your health. The doctors, we are your guides. We're not your crutches. But you have to be empowered with education. You have to be empowered with healthier lifestyles. And that includes getting screened at your appropriate ages for the different cancers.
You know, I want to talk to you about something that I realize when I'm talking to senior men, and you're having conversations about the barbershop and you're hearing certain stories of men taken in, especially with heart issues or, well, again, this is what's happening on the ground, right? A lot of men, they're taking all these tablets, these supplements, to give themselves the titanium finish when they want to treat with, let's say, a young lover, as it were, and probably not doing a proper checkup, taking these tablets, and finding themselves in a shambles sometimes in terms of just overall health and well-being, and some people actually going under because of what they're taking. They didn't really get any advice per se from a professional. What's your advice to the men who want to relive some of the old glory and give the titanium finish to as opposed to aluminum to whoever they're going to treat with? Because that's a serious, this is a serious, I mean, we're smiling at, but a lot of men under pressure right now, you know, they have stuff on the market, Dr. LeBlanc, people taking it, and taking two and three and guzzling it down.
It's a good thing I'm not in studio today because I'll be on the ground rolling and laughing before I answer this question.
No, I mean, I had to ask you that, because that's a serious concern for many.
It's a serious conversation, and I'm very open. First of all, I know men, you need to understand you're not going to be 16 at 60. So the titanium finish is not going to occur at 60 or 70 or 80. But that being said, it doesn't mean it has to be rusted aluminum. So this is where your annual checkups are important, because then your physician can understand how the machinery is functioning.
Did you say rusty aluminum? That I never. Oh, you put rusty, but I just say aluminum. How do you aluminum get rusty?
I just said, aluminum is a good metal, so let's put rusty for bad performance. So I'm just like. All right.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, you would have had your glory days, and I guess you're trying to relive them. And because there's a particular guy. I mean, we can't confirm unless you see the death report, the death certificate. But there's a guy we would have known. We wouldn't call his name, obviously. We say rest in peace to him. But they said it was a tablet. He took a tablet and went under.
But JW, this is important because if men out there do their annual checks, and the questions we ask, are you having problems with erections, ejaculations, urination, morning erections, nighttime? Are you having erectile dysfunction? And if you're honest with your physician, then that physician, while we're doing your prostate cancer screening, we also can determine what is your prostate health like. Because it could be that you don't have prostate cancer, but you have a benign prostatic hyperplasia. And therefore, your prostate, which grows with age, is what is then causing or one of the problems or one of the reasons, for erectile dysfunction. And we have medication out there for that before we go on to the bad boys that you just pick up off the pharmacy, or whichever shelf you pick it off of. So it's important to understand that you should not be afraid or fearful to have that discussion. So while I'm saying I would roll on the floor laughing, I generally would not, because as a physician, we are accustomed to these questions, accustomed to understanding, because that is all part of the human body and the function. So when I say you can't be titanium, but you might be aluminum, but you don't have to be rusted, I mean, I'm all saying this in a jovial manner for men out there not to be afraid. But really and truly, speaking to your doctor, but not only that, JW, speaking to your partner, understanding it, that makes a big difference when we speak about performance in that arena for men, and understanding, because sometimes they just get performance anxiety as well if there was one performance that wasn't good. So, but understanding and getting screened, getting checked up so we can understand what the reasoning is behind it, and really being able to determine, do you have risk factors that don't allow us to give you certain herbs or drugs? Then we need to understand that as well. So it's important to speak to your physician.
What's your advice going into 2026, your parting words to give us a sense of optimism and hope and encouragement, really, for those who might be, again, as you said, nervous to really express the honest truth, speak to their physician, really express what might be going on. You're holding back, you're feeling a how, you don't know how to say it. Help us get over that line and just give us some optimism and some hope going into 2026, Doc. It's all yours.
On behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, we wish you nothing but the best for 2026. We want to reinforce and remind you that cancer is a lifestyle disease. We want you to understand that you should look at the different pillars of your lifestyle, and that starts from how we eat, what we eat, so that's our diet, how we exercise. Make sure your exercise is appropriate for your age and guided by a professional if you can afford that. Please ensure that you do not smoke, do not vape. Cut down the smoking. If you are smoking, stop it. If you are vaping, stop it. No vaping, no smoking. Alcohol, if you can please cut down, and no excessive drinking. We would like, if you don't drink, don't start. And if you're drinking, to cut down. We would appreciate you getting your screening done. Ladies, your pap smears, your mammograms, your breast ultrasounds, your FIT or your colonoscopy as age appropriate, as recommended by your physician. Reach out to the Cancer Society if you need help. Men, your prostate cancer screening, your colorectal cancer screening, and for both men and women, lung cancer screening. For the other cancers that exist, because I know you hear of pancreatic cancer, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, and the list goes on. Know your body, get your annual checkups done. Do not be afraid of the diagnosis of cancer. Screening leads to early detection, which leads to survivorship. We can beat this together. We can do this journey together. We, the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, are here for you always. We are your national voice against cancer, and I look forward to everything good in 2026. Please understand you need to sleep. Stress coping is important, and we've got this. And that is so, so important for us to have healthier lifestyles in 2026.
Thank you so much, Dr. LeBlanc. Great conversation again. We look forward to more in 2026, and I will call you offline to work out my particular checkup. Again, I have no idea.
And we'll talk about you doing this football and jogging at your age. We're going to discuss that exercise routine.
Yes, I need to. I need to get back into my routine. I've kind of put that on the back burner, and that's not good. And I need to get that back into my mix. And that's my plan for myself for 2026, honestly, to just keep moving. Because if you don't use it, they say you lose it. Huh?
Well, it depends, yes. But most times, yes.
All the best, Doc. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you at CNC3. Thank you so much on behalf of the society.
Yeah, thank you indeed, Dr. LeBlanc. Always puts a smile on your face, very vibrant, real, you know. Obviously, we keep the conversations frank and open and honest. And yes, that's a concern, obviously, with lots of the senior men, that particular issue I brought up. So we need to, I guess, be honest, talk to our physician and let them probably bring some more organic stuff or put forward a recommendation that will not be hazardous to ultimately our health and our well-being. All right, so great conversation there indeed. We take the pause, final one for this year Tuesday, and we come back with some housekeeping and officially pull the curtains down at 8. See you soon.
Our massive clearance sale is on at Shivam's Premium Variety Store, located at the top of Mukurapu Street, San Fernando. Come check out our unbeatable prices on toys, jeeps, slides, swing sets, ride-on cars, scooters, play pens, baby items, mini appliances, vanity sets, and much more. We offer high-quality products for the cheapest prices guaranteed. Open every day, including Christmas. Don't miss out on this massive clearance sale. You can also earn points and cash back while you shop. Only at Shivam's Premium Variety Store Limited. For more info, contact or WhatsApp 776-5510. Level up your home this Christmas at Arima Door Center. Grab a Fandelier for $900 or LED bathroom mirror just $700. Purchase a stylish vanity for $1750. We're at number 4 Cleaver Road, Arima. Open every day, including Sundays. Call us at 642-3509 today.
Hey, this Christmas, we making sure everyone have a nice time.
Welcome back. Before we wrap things up, I just want to give up probably a quick reminder as to ways you can connect with us, ways you can put forward your request to have a conversation, to meet up with me and the team, whether it's on the couch or whether it's on the Zoom line. I want you to send that email, nice, short, concise, to the point, with all the information. We'll get back to you. You're going to send your email to tmb@cnc3.co.tt. Also, I want you to consider the social media world. Obviously, you know, we are part of mainstream media, but for those who want to get information via the media, right? That's what they call it. And not D as in THE, D as in D. People say, boy, I see that story on the media. But this is what they're talking about, social media, folks. Instagram, Facebook, X, are we very active? That's right. Also, our CNC3 mobile app must have your source for verified breaking news. All your content on demand, get it today. As always, we celebrate the Guardian, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, 108 years in the business, going strong, and we are here to stay. We want you to enjoy the digital Guardian when you visit guardian.co.tt. That's right, you could enjoy it on your tablet, your laptop, on your phone. That's the address right there. Let's get the subscription going. Let's head across to our food for thought. Do we have the words of inspiration? Never refuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Again, never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Two different things, all entirely. Let's head across to our World Weather Wrap with Jean-Marc. Jean-Marc, good morning.
Good morning. In today's weather app, we head over to the United States, where a powerful winter storm, including blizzard conditions and damaging winds, began sweeping across the central and eastern United States. More than 30 million people were under winter weather alerts, with over 100 million under high wind alerts at one point yesterday. Parts of Michigan have already received close to 2 feet of snow. Now, strong winds and snow are expected to cause dangerous travel conditions from lower Michigan to western New York and northwest Pennsylvania. And as the system pushes east today, its wintry and windy side will shift towards the eastern Great Lakes and northern New England. Also, with these whiteout conditions, travel has been severely affected. Nearly 3 million travelers were expected to fly this past Sunday, according to the United States Transport Security Administration, or TSA. The storm dropped several inches of snow in New England, and dozens of flights were canceled, hundreds delayed as well. Amtrak, the U.S. rail company, was also affected, having to cancel 2 trains bound for New York and Washington, D.C. Massachusetts Department of Transportation also issued a winter weather advisory, warning drivers of road icing in northern parts of the state. Now let's head back home, where we don't have blizzard conditions, but we can expect some partly cloudy periods to continue and be accompanied by isolated showers, with the low chance of the odd heavy shower most likely favoring the afternoon. Conditions are expected to return to mostly sunny and breezy later on this week as we get closer to the declaration of the dry season, which is usually in January. That's all for today's weather app. Back to you.
Jean-Marc, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and the entire, the newsroom, to everyone who, through their commitment and passion every day, they bring to us what's happening via the news cycle and, of course, in Jean-Marc's case, the weather. Tomorrow's the final episode for 2025. It's going to be a special one. Tune in early. We're here for the full 2 hours for our final installment. Until then, God spare. Have a great one. Be safe, TNT, and thank you so much for tuning in. God spare. See you tomorrow.
The Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.